All right, there it is. We are live. All right, Lions fans, we are a day late and a dollar short, just like the Lions always are. We recording this on the Monday, talking about the Lions come from behind loss to the Miami Dolphins, 31-27. All right, so let's pick up on where we were talking about the first. Let's start with that first half, man. I will I mentioned before. I was at the game yesterday live. The place Ford Field was rocking. I mean, the Lions scored in like the first 4 minutes. They scored quick, and they came down and was putting it on the Miami Dolphins. The defense looked pretty good, and then they're up 27-17 going into halftime, and then after halftime, well, you know what happened. So you said you watching you looking at the first half highlights right now. What are you seeing?
Um, I saw honestly that the offense looked like they were the same old offense. They honestly looked like they were on go. Jared Goff somehow looked like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I'm not even mad about the defense. I mean, come on, it's Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, so I'm not that mad about the defense. I mean, they held them to 17 points, and they had 27. So I thought they played pretty well in the first half for the first two quarters of the game. Nah, from what I saw.
And they did. Even in person, they looked really good in that first half. I mean, you could feel it in the building that they were going to win this game, that they were going to pull off the upset and beat the Miami Dolphins. But then the second half comes, and I was talking to a guy to my left who was actually a Dolphins fan. And what he said was basically plain and simple. The Dolphins made adjustments at halftime, the Lions didn't. The
Yeah.
Lions,
Oh, sorry.
and then to my right was another Lions fan, and he was calling out. He played football in high school. And the guy was like, bro, the Dolphins keep running the same play, rolling Tua out to the left and hitting a receiver in the zone. And he wasn't lying. They was running the same play. And the Lions defense just never adjusted.
Yeah. I see. I was even going to text you and say the same thing. I was going to say whatever was going on in the first half, I could tell immediately that there was a complete shift in energy. I mean,
Yes,
I'm pretty sure the Dolphins did get the ball first, right?
they did.
And they scored immediately. So, and then I saw that the Lions had the ball, and I saw that Swift wasn't doing anything. It looked like he was getting stuffed.
He
And I
was.
was like, oh, shoot. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if we were going to lose, but you kind of, I don't know how to explain it. As a Lions fan, you kind of just get a feeling.
Yeah.
So, and they started just to give the game away. And it just seems like the same thing with them. They just need one person to make a play, and no one can do it. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with the team. It
I
just
don't know
doesn't
what's
make sense.
I have to agree. I don't know what's wrong with the team either. Talking to Lions fans in person, the Lions played great. And then one guy was like, when we got that first offsides on Penny Sewell, one Lions fan said, here we go. It's about to start. Literally 2 plays later, I forgot who got an offsides. And then a couple plays after that, it was Taylor Decker.
Yeah, there
So
was a
you have
few
your
on him.
starters offside. I mean, 3 offsides in a row. And then I gotta call out Amani on this on defense, bro. He was offsides at the corner position twice in a row. Twice. He was offsides.
Yeah.
It's the little things like that, the discipline, even going back to the 90s, man, that the Lions have always had issues with discipline. I could not believe how my man just jumped offside. I mean, he didn't jump off sides, he lined up off sides. I mean, I don't understand how a corner who can look
Yeah, I
literally
saw
down
the
the line of
picture.
scrimmage can be offsides.
Yeah. And at first I was thinking that maybe, and I still blame the players and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I really do like Dan Campbell. But man, after that loss, I am starting to think it's the coaching because I just don't see how the Lions can play so good and look so good. And then they
Right.
just shamble the whole game away.
Right.
Like, I just don't understand how you can't produce anything at all in the second quarter. And like I've
Nothing.
said before, that's what separates the good teams from
Mm-hmm.
the great ones. I mean, I don't know if you saw the Terry McLaurin catch on that Hail Mary, but I mean,
I
Carson
didn't.
Wentz, man. So Carson Wentz threw it like 60 yards down the field to Terry McLaurin, and he basically mossed the cornerback to keep them in the game. And it's just like, uh, no one wants to step up. I mean, Malcolm Rodriguez seemed like he had an amazing game, probably obviously the best game of his career. And then nobody, basically no one else can do anything to show for it. Basically,
Right.
if one person does good, something else will happen that will basically nullify it.
You're not lying. It's kind of like my man Ross Tucker said today. I was listening to his podcast. He said, "Man, I don't know what it is about the Lions, but the Lions' defense and offense can never seem to play good at the same time, and that
Yeah,
seems to be the problem." And to be honest, all those three and outs, I mean, the defense can only hold for so long.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
in the second half, the offense has to do something to keep the other defense on the field. They couldn't even do that. And then here's the thing, right? And the thing about it was is that yes, uh Tyreek Hill is fast. He even looks fast in person. So did Jaden Waddle. But like the coverage, man, I think that's why I told you right before we got on, they just fired the defensive backs coach, which I don't know how good that's gonna do. But like a lot of that is on the DBs not being in place. Like that second Jason Waddle touchdown, bro, it was just Amani not being in position where he should have been. But I think that this is the beginning of how a team crumbles. It starts with things like this. They fired a defensive backs coach. So now they're either going to bring somebody else in or they're going to say that Aaron Glenn is going to take over those duties. The next thing is going to be Aaron Glenn. This is how it starts because whenever a team isn't winning, the head coach has to fire somebody because his job
right.
is on the line. So he's got to start pointing the finger and blaming other people and saying, yeah, it's offensive line coach, so let's get rid of him you know. And unfortunately, this is how it begins. But a lot of people are saying, I think Campbell will be back a third year, but there's a lot of people starting to say that they believe that if the Lions do not turn around, that Dan Campbell is probably not going to make it a third year.
Yeah, and I want to agree with that, but then it goes back to the question of who can really replace him except for a big time coach, and I don't even know who that
I
would
am
be.
I am so glad you brought that up because I actually have somebody that I didn't think about. Now, it would cost the Lions a first round pick. But I would hate for this to happen to Dan Campbell, but the guy that he used to coach with, his former head coach, Sean Payton.
Yeah. Oh, you're
I
saying
had been thinking about
okay.
that all day when you and I was thinking about us doing this show. Sean Payton. If you get rid of Dan Campbell, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna cost the Lions a first round pick. They're gonna have to give up a first round pick to New Orleans to get him because Sean Payton is technically still under schedule. But and I
Wait,
would hate
the
it. It
coach?
would be kind of messed up, yeah, because Campbell worked for Sean Payton. But bro, if you're gonna get rid of Dan Campbell, you got to get a coach who is a proven coach. What you think about
Yeah.
that?
No, no, I think that would be a decent pickup. I've heard
Mhm.
some small rumors about that. Um, but I don't know. I agree with you. I think it needs to be a guy like that with plenty of experience.
Right,
Because
right. Don't
I'm really
yeah.
starting to run out of like I'm running out of like ideas of what is
Me
wrong
too.
with the team. Like I really don't
Man,
know.
I know. And okay, so let's talk about something that we were talking about at the game. That 4th and 2, when we were marching down the field, and if we
Yeah,
would have scored, would have taken the lead. Jared Goff decides to throw the ball into the end zone to
yeah.
Josh Reynolds, who had to turn around and try to catch it when he could have hit Swift in the flats and got a first down, or either ran Jamal Williams, who was cooking all game. We the fans that were there, we were all saying the same thing, bro. All we need is 2 yards for the first, and we can keep running the clock down and score. We didn't need to go to the end zone. But there were a couple of fans who said, "Yeah, but it was a good call because it would have been for a touchdown." I didn't think it was a good call. What did you think about that 4th and 2?
See, that's almost when I turned off the game. I didn't think it was a good throw either. I didn't see Swift open on my screen, but I'm sure he was because that's what everyone else was saying.
Yes,
But
yes,
if I'm being real, this is kind of why I was talking about the Terry McLaurin catch. Man, you got to
right,
come. I don't care. Josh Reynolds.
right,
The
right,
ball, honestly, he could have caught that ball. So
right,
I'm saying this is where you have to come up with the big play, and he couldn't do it.
right.
So I
I
don't know.
agree.
And
I
Josh
agree.
Reynolds has dropped ball. Like I heard he dropped the TD in this game earlier.
He
But
did. He had
so
butterfingers. Yeah.
yeah. And it's like it's been a thing with him dropping touchdowns. So I don't know. I mean, I think Goff obviously should have hit Swift because it was only 4th and 2. It's like we did have time. But I think Josh Reynolds could have found a way to come down with the ball. I don't know.
And son, what you just said is what a lot of other Lions fans said. Exactly what you just said. They said, bro, you just got to make a play. I mean, Jared Goff put it up in the end zone. The receivers got to make a play.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw it over his left shoulder, and Josh Reynolds literally turned his whole body around to try to catch the ball. I don't know, man. It gets, the thing about it is this. You and I were talking last week about their record. The Lions have played 8 games. Honestly, I had the Lions at 2-6 at this point of the season. So judging by my prediction, they're not too far off because I really thought that they would get 6 wins, maybe even 7 on the back end, to be honest with you. And they still can, but I think what frustrates us is that out of these 7 losses, except for the Patriots game, they were in every single game, and that's what's frustrating.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was a stat that really killed me. Yeah, man, it said Dan Campbell was 4-19-1, and 11 of the games were decided by less than 7 points.
Right.
So it's like that means that half of those games could have been coaching problems, and the other, I don't know, another half could have been player issues. It's just like, I don't know, they need to get it together.
Yeah, I know. So it is so frustrating because it's one of the things that you don't really know what it is and what's going on, and so I don't know. I don't think that this is gonna spark something. Firing the defensive coordinator. The only thing I can say is that with him being fired, I'm not the defensive coordinator, DB coach, is that it's gonna let people know that heads are about to start rolling. So maybe people will start doing their jobs better, but the offense the defense is not good, but the offense just did nothing the second half, man. And it's very clear to me, DeAndre Swift must not be 100%.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna say maybe you're right about the running back situation because I can't believe that he's still hurt, and I could almost
Right.
tell too. Like he just wasn't really exploding. Like the one touchdown that he had was just I mean, it was just a simple like what was it, like a 5-yard throw in the end zone, wasn't it?
Yes.
So
And,
yeah,
and there was a stretch that Jamal Williams and Craig Reynolds were in the game. That's how I knew it in the third quarter. I said DeAndre Swift is not healthy because
yeah.
why is he not in the game? 7 plays. I think it was about 7 plays. It was either Jamal Williams or Craig Reynolds. So that brings me to something that with the trade deadline being tomorrow, this may not happen, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. There's rumors that the Saints, even though they shut out the Raiders yesterday, I don't know how that happened. The Raiders have been looking good with Jacobs running the ball, but they shut the Raiders out. But there's rumors that the Saints may be looking to trade Alvin Kamara. Should
Hmm.
the Lions make a move and get another running back in there, another explosive running back to go back there with Swift, especially while he's hurt?
Uh, See, I don't know. I guess it would. That all depends on what they would want. I don't think.
Right,
I don't think he's worth any first or second round picks.
right.
So then it's like I don't know, and I'm sure I don't know what they would even want for him. Maybe they could get him for a steal because I don't know. I know Alvin Kamara's been just decent. I know he hasn't been as good as he has a few years ago.
Yeah. Yesterday he had a good game. They said
Yeah.
that from what I hear, they said he was pretty much the Saints' whole offense yesterday. So I did hear about that being a trade rumor, but there is a trade rumor that I need to get your opinion on. There was a rumor going around Saturday actually, that the Lions could be looking to trade Hawkinson.
Yeah. Man, wait. So how do you feel about that?
I don't think they would be a good trade unless
Okay.
you got
Good.
something, unless a contender wanted him so bad that they
Yeah.
gave like a number one and something else. Because if you get rid of Hawkinson, you get rid of another weapon in the
Okay.
passing
I
game.
totally agree. And then just to watch him be a Pro Bowler somewhere, I'm
That
good.
man, so that's what somebody said on Twitter. A Lions fan on the Lions Twitter said, "Bro, so we gonna trade him so he can go, so he can be like Slay or Diggs and go somewhere else and be a Pro
Exactly.
Bowler."
And that's another reason why I really think it's the coaching because it's like, come on. I've noticed that a lot of these Lions players have really been showing out once they got traded. I mean, even Eric Ebron had a pretty crazy year the minute he got traded. So it kind of makes you question the
Right.
coaching sometimes, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like the idea because when we took Hawkinson a couple years ago in the top 10, if you take a tight end in the top 10, bro, I mean, listen, bro, I'm not trying to trade Hawkinson unless for some reason you're sending him to Atlanta and they're sending us Kyle Pitts back.
Exactly. Exactly.
Give him saying, like, I'm sorry, unless you send us another weapon. We don't trade a guy that's a weapon to get what for the future. because that tells me that you're giving up on the season. And some
Yeah.
Lions fans is like, yeah, but Hawkinson really hasn't been producing. So if we trade, I wouldn't mind trading him if we got something good in return. But what you gonna get good in return? I don't know what you could get in return. Hopefully, I'm hoping that it doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, I agree. It better not happen. Actually, they don't need to trade any more offensive weapons away.
No, they don't. They don't. And honestly, I'm really starting to hope that in November, which is coming up, that Jameson Williams is healthy, as Coach Dan Campbell said, because man, we need him in the game, bro.
Me too. And he's the guy. I'm not trying to put pressure on him, but I think he's the guy who can make that catch that Josh Reynolds missed.
I
So
agree.
I agree. Yeah.
I agree. And a lot of fans are also upset with DJ Chark. A lot of fans said they was upset because they said one Lions fan made a very good point yesterday at the game. He said, "Bro, I was saying in the offseason, why didn't we sign Zadarius Smith that played for the Packers that went to the Vikings, the pass rusher?" He's like, instead, we spent money on DJ Chark, who stays hurt, and he's hurt right now.
Yeah, and I honestly forgot he was on the team. Jeez, yeah.
See what I'm saying? Exactly.
I completely forgot about him.
Exactly. So he's been a no-show. So we have and then Cephas is still hurt. So the Lions are still down weapons, but I do think that Swift makes a big difference because when he was in the game, especially in that first half, you notice a different flow to the offense. But I have to agree. How is he still hurt? I know he hurt his ankle, but how is he still hurt?
Yeah.
I mean, he's missed 5 games.
Yeah, I'm confused. People are saying it's his shoulder, his ankle. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's why I really, really badly want him to be the guy, but he just stays injured too much, and the Lions are not going to be able to win without a running game. It's just that simple. They're not going to be able to win without a running game. They have to be able to run down, be able to run down the clock. And I like Williams, but Williams is not explosive. Neither is Craig Reynolds. They're not explosive backs. They're good backs, but not explosive backs. So I don't know. This is let's look ahead to this week. If I'm not mistaken, we are at home against Green Bay, or is it on the road?
It might be on the road, but I think.
Let me see. I'm trying.
I think it's on the road.
Same
No,
I'm trying to look at the same thing too. No, it's at home.
Yeah.
Packers at home, and the Packers are not good, bro. But of course, the Lions will get them off the snide, and they'll come off their 4-game losing streak.
Yeah.
I mean, it's blood in the water, man. If you can't beat the Packers right now, when is it going to happen?
Yeah. I mean, it's just what Lions team wants to show up.
Right.
I've seen a few different teams at this point. I don't know what's up with them. I've seen the Lions against the Eagles and the Lions against the Patriots. So.
Oh my goodness, right. And of course the Lions should win this game, but of course, Aaron Rodgers will come out looking like Aaron Rodgers this week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He will. Let's see. So looking at what we see now, okay. The Lions are 1-7. We know that dream, even though we originally didn't think they would make the playoffs this year, we know now for sure that's not going to happen. So let's look at realistic. I know it's going to depend on what team comes out, but 9 games to go. What are we really seeing? Okay, this week, November 6th, Packers at Lions. Are we really seeing a win, or is Aaron Rodgers going to show up?
Man, it's not even if the Lions can have a decent offensive performance, I guess, like they did in the game, they should be able to take the cake. I mean, the Packers don't really have that many receivers, and I know Jeff Okudah will be able to handle who would be their number one receiver, because isn't there? I thought one of their guys was hurt right now. So is it Christian
their number one
Watson
receiver is probably he's hurt. Reggie Cobb, but he's hurt, I think.
So I think the secondary will have a lot less pressure on them than with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek. So
they will, but I agree. So I'm gonna pull the Lions finally gonna pull a close win against the Packers.
It's hard. I I think it'll be a low scoring affair though. I don't think it'll be like a 30-point game like this one was.
Okay,
If the
I
Lions
agree.
manage to win it.
November 13 at the Bears. Remember, Justin Fields now has design runs. So the Bears have him rolling out of the pocket now. And they have design runs for him. November 13th at Bears. Originally, I said it was going to be the Bears twice. Now I'm not so sure.
Man, see,
Because
it's
Justin
hard.
Fields is running now.
No, I'm still gonna give the Lions the win against the Bears. I have the Lions beating the Bears just because. I mean, I hope they can get some pride in here and step up a little bit at least. I mean, come on.
Okay.
I think they should be able to handle the Bears. I hope just because
No,
their defense is pretty sketchy.
November 20 at home, right before Thanksgiving against the Giants.
No, I think that's a loss. I was watching the Giants this Sunday, and they honestly they can make some plays. Like I was watching them on defense. They just they can create a lot of stuff that can happen. So I think the Lions are going to lose that game.
Okay, I'm not even going to December. I'm gonna stop at Thanksgiving. Well, I already know what you're gonna say here. No, then 4 days later, Thanksgiving, home against the Bills.
Yeah, no, that's a L.
That's
honestly, you know, the Lions could
win,
lose all their games till the Bills, and then decide to beat them. So
yep.
I guess you never know.
Yep.
But no, I think that'll be a loss.
Okay, and then I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna save December for December because they have 4 games in December and then one January. Well, technically they have 4 games in December, then 2 in January, really. But we'll say that for another time. So yeah, I agree with you. I'm saying, yeah, you might be right, son. I'm gonna say Packers could be a win, the Bears could be a win, the Giants could be a loss. With the fact that Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley both can run, and the Bills, I don't see it. But like I said, that would be so Lions to lose the next 3 in a row and be 1-10 and then beat the Bills, the second best team in the NFL.
Yeah, I guess I am. No, that's the only thing I look forward to, just to see Jeff Okudah handle Stephon Diggs, I guess. Just to see how he can do.
Okay. Well, I guess
that'll do it. Seahawks can win. That's crazy.
I know, man. How's Geno Smith had this resurgence,
exactly. Bro? That's what I'm saying.
Like, man, Geno Smith is out here balling. Man, I mean, I feel ashamed for, talking down on his name. Man, I got to give Geno Smith some respect with a K.
Yeah.
Put some respect on his name. Like, Geno Smith out here doing his thing, man.
Yeah.
Geno Smith out here looking better than Jared Goff, bro.
Yeah.
Man.
Geno Smith top 12, probably top 13 in the league.
Yeah. I mean, bro, and how are the Falcons at the top of the NFC South, bro? The Falcons. Over the Bucks and the Saints. But here we are, the Lions, we at the bottom.
Yeah.
The only team right now that's worse than us is the Texans. That's it, man. The Texans. Oh, man, this is hard, bro. Well, Lions fans, we'll see y'all again this Sunday after the home game against the Packers. Maybe we might even have another guest. Cousin JB, well, he said he want to get in on
really?
a special. Yeah, he said I want to be a special guest on y'all podcast. So I couldn't get him tonight. I didn't feel like trying to talk him into showing him how to get it all set up. So we'll see about this week, but. We'll see what the Lions do, son. I think so. Are we both predicting a win this Sunday, home against the Packers?
I mean, I have to. I mean, yeah. So, I'm gonna predict the win.
What we got to lose, right?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, we don't. Mentality. Yeah, we don't have nothing to lose. So that's what we'll do. Well, Lions fans, give us your thoughts on what you thought about this crazy loss to the Dolphins. Do you put it on the players? Do you put it on the coaches? If you haven't already, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time we talk Lions football, you can talk it right with us. Other than that, we out of here. Peace.